It's really fucking toxic. The breastfeeding or nothing thing.
Story time. So I exclusively pumped for 3 months solid after having my daughter because of how traumatized I was in the hospital on their breastfeeding thing after birth. So they ask you while you're like having contractions and dying from going into labor, do you plan to breastfeed or formula? My response was I didn't know how I felt about breastfeeding, but I did have pumps and I was prepared to do that. But if she would latch well and breastfeeding worked, then that was an option for me. And immediately after having her, they want them to latch, which is extremely painful. And also just the thought of like we have colostrum and not milk yet, and it's thick, and it's just like this baby is struggling, and it's a nightmare. But also like they're on this clock and they're in your room and it's like every 2 hours on the dot, and I get it, like you're trained to do that. I had more nurses and lactation consultants in my room than I could ever think of, squeezing my tits, shoving them into my child's mouth. She's screaming, I'm crying. It was absolutely traumatizing. And even when I said I don't like this, we continued to do it every 2 hours. And it's just like, I don't know. Like my body just had a baby. I literally can't feel my legs yet because of my epidural. And I've got this nurse like squeezing my tit and shoving it in this screaming child's mouth. And I am exhausted and just completely traumatized. So when I got home, we did not try that again because I didn't want to, because of the terrible experience I had with that. And I didn't think she would latch because of how she wouldn't latch, because they were shoving her face onto me the whole time in the hospital and she was screaming, traumatized from it. So I pumped for 3 months solid. And then one night I was like, you know what, let's just try it. And she latched and it was perfect. And now we latch and we pump and we use bottles. And she's just fine. So I don't know if it's like the training, like they have to do that to you, but it really is, it's kind of fucked up.